Hello, welcome to a new tutorial presented by the SHRTVB. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to program with LaTeX. So, in order you have to note that LaTeX programming is a program which is similar to that of Word. Now, the first step you need to start with is to introduce what is LaTeX. So, introduction to LaTeX programming. Introduction to LaTeX programming. Now, we are required to know that in LaTeX programming, a normal text file, an end product text file, constitutes of three main parts. That is, in order for you, before we enter the LaTeX programming, we have to know what is the meaning of creation of documents, because LaTeX programming is involved with creation of document. Also, Notepad, Notepad++, and Word document, Microsoft Word, are also used to create documents. Now, we have to study the procedure in creation of documents. There are three main parts which are involved in the procedure for the creation of documents. And the creation of document is called, any program which is involved with the creation of document is called a typesetting program. And this typesetting program, text, has been written by Donald Knuth. Now, this typesetting program consists mainly of three parts. We have inputting, we have processing, and we have outputting. These are the three main parts of a creation of a document. So, when you want to create a document, you always input a file, an extension file, and that extension file is the .x. .x is a very primary extension, and it's an extension that does not really require for anyone to compile it. The operating system understand what you mean by .text. So everything that is written with the extension .x does not need to be compiled. That is why when you open up your notepad, if you open up my notepad as such, I have notepad here. So when I open up my notepad, I can enter my name is the SCHRDBB. Now, if I go on and I save this file as being name, we see that it will be a text file, and that text file I've stored it. Now I'll close my notepad and come out again with that same name. You see that when I open here, I come and open the file I initially stored. The file I stored was called name. So the file I stored is name. I just come, click onto it and open. You see that the file easily opens. So what happened here, this small schematic scheme is summarized by this process. We have the inputting. I inputted initially, when I opened my notepad, I inputted the text file I wish it to have. So when I come here, I open notepad, I click on notepad, I have entered, when I write my name is the SCHRDBB, I am entering the text file, this first part here. I'm inputting it. When I'm inputting it, there is a need for it to be processed. When it is processed, after being processed, the output will be shown up to me, and that output is what I need to be given to me. Now, the text file, as I initially said, does not require you to be compiled. Notepad does not attach any compiler to the text file that I've placed. So the operating system directly understands what you mean by .x, and they can easily output it without any compiler. So these are the three main parts which are involved in a typesetting program, or a program which is involved in the formation of documents. So information of document, the first thing is to enter the sentence or the phrase, that the one that is to encompass inside the file. The next thing is that there will be a processing of that file, and that file will turn out to an output that will be visualized as I initially called when I opened here. Now I will have visualized, don't save. I will just come and I open this my file. When I open this file and I see the output that has been stored, now this is the outputting format. So these are the three main formats which are involved in typesetting programs. Now, it is required for us to know that this scheme here can be splitted to form this other scheme here. Now, this inputting of text file remain the same. Processing of text file, now when we have changed this diagram, we are going to have this one. And upon processing the text file, you can either have an output which is of the same extension as the initial text file you are entering. So the point to note is that when you input the file in your machine, the format or the extension that the input is having is going to be a .text. Now, outputting can either be a .text or a file of another extension. Example, a file of another extension can be a .x, like what is produced by Word. A file of another extension can be PDF, and a file of another extension can be a form doc, or even a form Excel. So all these are the files of other extensions. Now you see this arrow here, and they are very important because when you want to convert a file which initially existed as a text file to another output of the same format text file, you see that there is no compilation. Here the operating system directly understands that the output will be of the same format and there is no compilation which is involved in it. That's why when I initially wrote my code there, you saw that I've inputted my name is SHRTB, and then I could output that same name SHRTB without going through any compilation. Now the second part, when you want to change from the extension .text, let's say, to an extension of PDF or doc, you now need here a compiler. Now you need to know that the compiler which is used with LaTeX is called MikTeX compiler, and the MikTeX compiler is the one which is involved in processing the .text file and converting it to a PDF file. Now the question is, before going to the question, we are going to see how LaTeX functions. We said again here that it is divided, the typesetting program is divided into three main parts: inputting, processing, and outputting. So this is how LaTeX functions. LaTeX functions as such. When I come in the LaTeX platform, I have to take a file and say new. Now, when I have this new file, I must now go and write my code inside it. Like, let's say document. Let's say document. All right, document here. Class given out to me. Then the options, I just write 12 points, and lastly I have my class here. So this is the code that LaTeX is going to have. Let's say begin document, and we have end document. So this is a code that LaTeX is going to have. Now, if I want that my file contains my name is the SHRTB, I'm going to write my name is the schrdbb. Now you need to note that this file here is going to have the same output as the initial file I've created in Notepad. So in my Notepad, I have this open. Let's open and see this. So this is going to have the same, it's going to be identical to this, just that it's not going to have the same format as this file. Now what happened is that when I write this in LaTeX, I need now to compile. This my LaTeX platform is connected with the LaTeX compiler. In order for me to compile this, I have to press this button here, run. When I run, I compile here, and then I now press this button here in order to view the PDF, because I asked the LaTeX they build to convert it to a PDF form. The form could also be a PS or a DVI, but I asked it to convert into a PDF form. So I want to view the PDF form of this. But we are going to see that in the later videos. So this is what is going to happen. When you have the input, you enter the input in LaTeX. You then need to process it by compiling, by pressing this button. When you compile, you are going to have an output which is going to be a file, which is going to be a PDF file. So this is how LaTeX functions. Now another question is, how does Word functions? So let's change the view mode and we enter now to the edit mode. We see that in case of Word, I'm capable of changing words. When I write day, I just come down here and I write my name is day, schrdbb. Now I realize that directly what is inputted is visualized and output. So what I entered here is directly what is going to be given to me without any compilation. This is simply because the Microsoft Word is an app which is integrated with its own compiler. So when you are inputting, the Microsoft compiler is directly processing that text file and converting it into a doc doc file. That is what is making you to visualize. So this first, second, and third part of the typesetting program is going to be performed at the same time with Microsoft Word. While with LaTeX only performs this inputting, then the compilation is done on a separate tab, then the output is done on a separate tab. While with Microsoft Word, you see that all of these is on the same step. So this will mark us the end of the introduction to our LaTeX programming. And before we end up, we need to make sure that we retain this particular diagram, the steps in the formation of a document. The first step is inputting the .text file. The second step is processing the .text file, and the last step is outputting a file which can be of .text extension or of another extension. Thanks for your kind attention.